Today we have an incredible video. In this box right here is quite literally gold. How is that possible? It's just a cardboard box. No. This is $65,000 worth of dart frogs from Colombia. And the best part of that is the $65,000 all went to a great cause, Tesoros de Colombia. In this box, we have some of the rarest locales of dart frogs in the entire country. Most of them you guys have probably seen in the States, but even there, they're incredibly rare. Now, I will get you right into the unboxing very quickly, but first I need to say a few words. And of course, those few words mostly involve, if you guys are as hyped as I am, make sure you click that subscribe button. You are not going to want to miss this unboxing, this video, but I am going to be building a beautiful custom glass enclosure for these guys. So while these guys go in their quarantine bins, I'll be working on that tank. Of course, there will be a video to show for it. While you're down there, you can also leave what you think might be in this box in terms of species, locales, and I will leave a link to my Teespring store in the description down below for you guys to check out and get some of your own incredible dart frog merch. Now with that being said, let's get to the unboxing of these incredible frogs. Ooh, off to unbox some freaking frogs, let's go! Alright, it's unboxing time. Before we break into it, I did just want to thank Coppertist Woo for providing me with an affiliate code for these gorgeous Arowana letter openers. Not really a sponsor, but a really cool tool, a really cool conversation starter. So if you're interested in picking one up, I'll leave one in the description down below. With clicking on the affiliate link, if you choose to buy, you help me out and help the channel, and you also save some money on your own. So definitely a great deal. Check it out. I can't even begin to describe the feeling of waiting for an entire year for this moment. Opening this box and laying our eyes on the treasures inside.
Smokes. Bunch of empty cups. Empty frogs. Okay, what's this?
Mine, let's go.
Man, they're so
Hey
big.
there, holy smokes.
Watch your nose.
No nose rub. Did he sex them? Attempt at least?
Not this one.
L.
Histronica. This is gotta be the same as yours.
Yeah,
this one's dead.
Blue. Funny guy. Call him Adam Wickens.
This has gotta be a Picasso. Oh yeah, look at that thing. It's a monster.
Oh my god.
They're supposed to be the biggest.
Oh, they're huge. Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, fuck. Look at that thing. Oh shit, shoot. Holy moly.
I think you can say that.
Holy shucks.
Look at that red guy. What is that, a saddleback? That's a nice looking frog. From the photos, I was like, oh, whatever, saddleback, but that's a good looking frog. These are all looking good. Everything is alive.
Woo! Celebrate good time. And now that you guys have seen a couple of the really special frogs that came in, I think it's also important to talk to you guys about the conservation aspect that Tesoros de Colombia does, because that is a very important part of this order for me. Obviously, they're not in Canada. We couldn't have got them anywhere else. Tesoros provides an incredible service that needs to be talked about. Now, Ivan started Tesoros in 2006, where he had the idea of bringing all of these wild frogs, breeding them in a captive setting, and then obtaining legal export permits to ship them to various countries. His first export was actually a shipment of Dendrobates truncatus to Canada, so you know, a little Canadian ego bump right there. And that's not all that Tesoros does. Before we get into the Oophaga conservation that they're taking part in, I really did want to show you guys a few more frogs, so let's do that. Are you stoked?
Yes, I'm drooling.
None of them are yours.
None of them, but
Not yet.
take the little Orbeez.
There you go. A memento.
Memorabilia.
This gorgeous frog right here is the Oophaga histrionica tado. You'll see more of these guys later on in the video, but this one is just such an exceptional example of the locale. I had to show it off. And I know this is a photo from Tesoros, but we did get a few of these beautiful bahia solano or solanensis in, but unfortunately they weren't our frogs, so I didn't feel comfortable opening the container and having them running around. But I think the most important thing that I wanted to talk about is Oophaga lehmanni. Their kind of history as a holy grail frog really made them a prime target for poachers to take them out of the wild and ship them overseas without export permits. Now, Ivan's goal was obviously to diminish that or stop it entirely, and in 2013, a German film crew coming in to specifically film the Lehmann's dart frog with one single specimen found in several weeks that's not looking good for their future. It was around that time when Ivan decided to take them into captivity, and because of Ivan's success, they are available to people like you and I. But with that being said, I think it is very safe to say that without Ivan's intervention, poison frogs in the wild would be much more under pressure. Things like the Phyllobates genus. Ivan has brought the average price of Phyllobates terribilis from $150 all the way down to like $30. So it is now not economically viable for poachers to take them from the wild. I think it would be really special to get Ivan on the channel showing off his facility and showing what he does for the hobby, for conservation, and for the community at large. I think there needs to be a trip down to Colombia one of these days to check out these beautiful frogs. While we were unboxing the frogs, it actually came to our attention that my frogs were showing some signs of elevated stress levels, so we decided to get them out of their cups immediately. But thankfully, Dr. Brand was on the scene, and while he suited up, I went to go get the frog bins and some water. Then it was time for the release. Yeah, the problem is it was splayed out.
Legs and Jesus Christ. Okay, can you get a lid?
Yep.
Well, he's active.
Well,
Yeah, that's good.
that's a good sign.
Nose looks okay.
His nose looks good.
Yeah, he's a bit like slow, just not coordinated very well.
A bit cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I'd put him away.
Now, thankfully that Alec has checked them over, it's all about letting them settle into their bins, and I suppose it would be a great time to share what these guys are. These are Oophaga histrionica fuego,
His feet look okay.
and they are the only legal ones in Canada currently. Oophaga histrionica are found in the rainforests across western Ecuador into northern parts of Colombia, and these guys were obviously captive bred in Colombia. They were sent to us with all the proper CITES documentation, and I'm absolutely honored to own these true treasures of the jungle. I think that's enough of my frogs. You guys will see plenty of them in the future. Let's show some more of the frogs on this order.
Oh my god.
Holy shit balls. Wow, that is so red.
So nice.
Starting with Chris, our good friend's Oophaga lehmanni.
I mean, originally, Chris had all of them.
Pardon?
Originally, Chris had all of them.
True. Now that we've seen some of Chris's frogs and we clearly can't rely on him to catch those frogs, let's bring him on to share the incredible details of Tesoros' frog packaging.
You can see through the side, it's pretty much 3 layers. The bottom layer is paper towel. The black layer is some sort of sponge, and then there's a hole cut out through the sponge with rock wool or something like that, but it seems to hold the moisture.
Another container.
Pretty cool. It's a really nice job packing.
Thanks for that demonstration, Chris. It really is cool to see how they pack frogs to be shipped all the way across the world. But I do know that you guys are here not to learn how to package frogs. Instead, you're here to see the incredible diversity of frogs that were just brought into Canada. So let's get on with it. And as you can see, we are starting it off strong with this beautiful Oophaga histrionica yellow saddleback. And now we can move on to this gorgeous Oophaga histrionica tado. These guys are so variable, it's incredible to see just how many different color combinations and the amount of red to black to the caramelly color that they have. Seeing these frogs in person really opened my eyes to how beautiful they really can be. And this little guy here is the red saddleback, one of the coolest frogs in the shipment simply because of the saturation of the red in his colors. Most of the other frogs in the shipment were more of an orangey kind of red, but this one, whew, it was stunning. Now this was one of the most controversial frogs in the shipment. This is the Oophaga histrionica yellow and brown. Truthfully, not really my cup of tea, but as Bree said it, definitely beautiful in their own way. Either way, another incredibly rare frog in Canada. This is the Oophaga histrionica red and caramel saddleback. I think this might have been also one of my favorite frogs. The combination of the red and just the kind of, as they describe it, caramel coloration all around its back was definitely a sight to see in person. They don't look all that incredible on camera, but holy smokes, in real life, these guys are glowing. Now, Philipe's frogs made up about 60% of this shipment. Obviously, those are just one individual of all the ones that he ended up getting. Maybe someday I can go to his place and film a great tour of his frog room, but today is not that day. Instead, we get Alec's frogs, and Alec didn't really want to bring them out on the day of. I don't blame him. He was great enough to send me some beautiful footage of his frogs in their tank, so let's check that out. The gems that Alec got are the Oophaga histronica pacassi, as well as the beautiful Oophaga lehmanni red. I want to thank Alec very much for taking the time to send in those videos. I greatly appreciate it. Now, for those of you that have made it to this point to the video, you guys get to see the bonus jewels from Ecuador. This is a gorgeous Oophaga sylvatica Diablo. And these guys right here are the insanely variable Oophaga sylvatica Peru. I never ended up getting anything from the Ecuador order, but holy smokes, the Peru really were incredible. Sometimes they ended up looking like this, which in comparison to this, I would have been pretty upset about. But you know what, at the end of the day, I guess the same offspring can be produced from either pairing, so who cares? But now it's time to give you guys an update on the frogs as of about a week ago when I'm posting this video. So let's get on with it. Okay, now it has been a week since the last clip that you guys seen. All the unboxing, all the shenanigans with all the frog homies. It is now time to give you guys a bit of an update, just so you guys can see how they're doing. You probably won't see all the frogs, but let's get to it. So in this bin, we have one of the probable males. This was the bin that I originally set up for them. Unfortunately, we got sent a care sheet from Ivan saying that, you know what, it's actually not necessarily the best to house them together, especially right off the bat. Just got to make sure they're all eating and whatnot. Of course, I ended up having to split them up. This is one of the probable males, as I mentioned. And you can see him down there. Absolutely gorgeous. The blacks are so dark. The head is a little less red than I would have liked, but the pattern is still pretty bold. As you can see, he is eating, which is great. No calling out of these guys yet, so that's unfortunate. But, I mean, look at that frog, man. Like, whew. Tesoros de Colombia means Colombian treasures, or treasures from Colombia. And I can truly say that that is 100% true. Like, come on. Come on. There's nothing like it. Look at this log. It's beautiful. And now we can cover the two down here as well. This was the only one that I was a little hesitant of and kind of still am. She's definitely a lot less bold. I know she is eating, so that's good. But she's also my favorite of all the ones that we got there. So she's much different looking, much finer spot, much more red head. Yeah, she's doing okay. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on her and monitoring her, making sure she's doing okay. As you can tell, she's a little thinner than I would prefer. I will leave her be. And now we have the final one. There we go. Ooh, easy. Ooh, that's a good display though. Yeah, so this one again is much more bold pattern than the other one. Hides in that back corner quite a bit. It is a little bit more dry back there, so that could be, I don't know, just it seeking a little slightly drier. What's nice about having all the leaf litter and stuff in here is that they can kind of choose whether they sit on something dry or something wet, whether it be the sphagnum or whether it be like the film canister. Yeah, it's a fairly well-rounded setup. Definitely not what I plan to have them in for the long term, but they're doing well so far. And with that being said, that is going to wrap up the video right there, you guys. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this incredible $65,000 frog unboxing. I hope you guys learned something. I really did want to focus a lot of this video on conservation and showing you guys kind of the power of conservation and what it can do. It's not just a clickbait video. This is something that I hope you guys took something from. If you did enjoy, make sure you click that subscribe button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, any tips for me, if you have kept these frogs, let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, click subscribe, check out the merch down below, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!